Hello everyone, Zelleranth here, and today I was just going to kind of talk about my channel and kind of plans with the current content that I plan to do. Currently I've gone through all the units that we kind of know about coming out to global. Now we know everything coming out, but based on the current expansion in knowledge on when they came out for the CN version, I've already covered Sophia, August, Kanbei, Haas, Nahoma, and Coco. I plan to kind of do my look at her because I have her in game currently, and my thoughts on her as a 1-star. So I plan to do a video on her tomorrow, just based on how good she is a 1-star versus how good she will be once you get to 5-star. But as you can see, as we go through the units, I have about I plan to continue to go through, and we have 8 here, and I think there's 2 more with the Sophia alt, and then a new one that was just recently announced. So eventually I'm going to run out of these to do. So some ways that I'm looking to expand my content is to looking into some of the CN forums as well, and getting the thought processes behind what some of the CN players are saying on the forums about certain units, especially in like the current tower adversity, and kind of see how it's not all just get the meta units, because you can't just get the best of the best and be able to beat all content with them from now on. So like when everybody's saying you have to get Sophia and August, you'll learn that currently what I've seen in some posts is like this one stating that they're not using current August because Tower of Adversity is not very advantageous to him. And the same thing with Sophia as well. They build around the current newest units. And that's why I think people like Simona will still have value down the line, especially when it's content or it's a mutation that is advantageous to them, because there'll be times where they're good and there'll be times where they're bad. I do not think there's actually been a single unit that's been released that did not have a single mutation that didn't impact them negatively. So every unit has their value to some extent. So you should still be pulling for who you like. I do plan to kind of go over what I see as a pull priority. I plan to release one this weekend, and then I'll probably make a new updated one every other week on what my pull, or what I think the pull priority should be based on certain units, what you want. So if Sophia's the person that you want, what are you going to be priorities with pulling? Who are you going to look to pull for her? So like you got a Kanbei who's good for her. You got Cocoa, who's pretty much good for everyone. Or if you're going for August, who do you want to pull over him? Like when you have Homa, who's really good for him. And I'll kind of update that as I go through the new units, but also as we know the order they're coming out, because the order they're coming out kind of determines your pull priority. So originally we thought Sophia was going to come after Simona, and so your pull priority was just, do you want her or do you want August? But now that we have Cocoa, it was kind of like, do you really need her or do you want her rear build? And you kind of have to think, how many pulls do you have? Now that we know Akambe is most likely going to be the next unit, if you're going to skip him, that gives you even more incentive to be able to pull on Cocoa, because you're going to have more time to save up for Sophia or August or whoever else that you're wanting to get. So I do plan to update that on a weekly basis, and like I said, go through the forums and go over some of the new stuff as it's coming out. Like I just seen there's a post on new weapons, new signature weapons that have come out, and these, if anyone has read or seen in my previous videos where I mentioned the signature weapons, they are quite broken specifically for the units they're for, but they can also be really good for prior units that can make them even better. And just one example that I've seen is Tristan is a Union member, just like August, but she's slightly weaker from everything I read. I haven't completely looked into her kit, but she doesn't do as much damage as August. But with her signature weapon, she surpasses August, and by quite a bit, especially if you get it to 5-star. Now you pretty much have to wail to get it to 5-star, but just getting 1-star on these signature weapons by looking at their kits is better than your standard legendaries, even at 5 stars. Now you even can see with Sophia's alts, I mean, it gives attack and defense, it removes debuffs, applies buffs, and increases the target's damage. So it sounds like it's an instant on her new signature weapon. And you got the same thing with some of these other ones. So I plan to make videos based around what they're saying in CN, because I know a lot of people seem to like my videos on the units as no one's really able to talk. Even the content creators that have access to the creator server, they only have access to basically, I think, the next unit, so they can't even look at every unit before they're coming out. So I'm kind of trying to get ahead of the game on that to help people with their pull priorities. And the other thing is I can only keep up the content so much to trying to at least do a video every other day. I was trying to do one every day, but it is going to be quite hard, especially when I'm going to probably run out of content in terms of the units within a couple weeks if at the current pace I was going, which is why I'm looking to add more to it. So if anyone has any ideas or videos they want to see, I am looking and responding to every comment on my videos. So if you have anything, I will take them into account. And I've made some of my videos I have made was based on feedback that people have given me. But then I also have other games that I'm looking to get into as well, to kind of spread it out, so I can maybe have sort of Convallaria one day, and then another game another day, and then another one the next day, and then that'll break apart the different games. So I do play a lot of gotchas. I haven't made any content on the other ones that I play, because they already have massive content creators on them. Two of them are Hoyoverse games. I play Honkai Star Rail and Zenless Zone Zero, but then I also play Wuthering Waves, and they're already covered extensively, and so they don't have the reach as much as I would like for my channel. Sort of Convallaria has definitely helped me build, as like I said in the beginning, I'm currently a fourth of the way already to hitting the 1,000 subscribers needed for monetization. And what'll be great with that is when I can get monetized, I plan to put all the money I make on it into the gacha games. So that way I can have a better chance at getting the units, so then I can go in depth with their kits even better when I actually have them, versus just looking at the potential of them if I don't currently have them. But then I also, as like I said, looking at expanding other games. One that I'm actually looking at that's a tactical game. It looks like it will have a smaller audience than sort of Convallaria, just looking at the CN version, but it's Girls Frontline 2. The game looks pretty interesting, has some good graphics to it. Has lots of fan service in it, so if there's people like that, I mean, that'll be a big part of the game. So I think I will start try and look into that, maybe make some videos on if trailers come out for it, maybe reactions to it. I don't see a global release for it yet, though, so who knows when that'll come out. But one of my plans, too, is to try and get into content creator programs with the specific games, if they have any. I think that's one thing I kind of missed out with starting content creation a little late. With sort of Convallaria, is I did not get into the content creator program. Now I've applied to it, but I don't think I'm big enough yet for them to accept me. Which is another reason, if you can, and if you like the content, to just like, subscribe, and comment, because it will help with increasing the size of my channel quicker. I mean, and I've already noticed it with the one big video that kind of popped off in the beginning. That has helped dramatically in expanding my reach. That's just kind of my thoughts. I do plan to do live streams as well at some point. I actually wanted to live stream my Cocoa polls, but for some reason YouTube needed a 24-hour cooldown with my first try, so it said I had to wait 24 hours. So I was like, I'll just make a video on that. But this weekend I am planning on doing it's more like a test live stream than anything, but I still need to do the Spiral of Destinies, the new expansion. Right now I'm finishing up I have a Union run through. I'm trying to finish that up this week. And then I'm going to do just a test live stream, probably Saturday at some point, and just go through the entire new expansion in Spiral Destinies. And just while I do that, just see how it works. If anyone comes and watches, just kind of practice with myself, talking with people in chat and stuff. Because I don't have a lot of experience with live stream. I did a little bit on Twitch, but I didn't really get too much in terms of views, so that'll be more of a test one. Just work out any kinks that I have, to figure out how the YouTube streaming service works, because it's a little different than Twitch. And then I plan to stream all future polls on YouTube. So when and I do plan to pull over pretty much every unit coming out. So I do plan to pull over a Kanbei, I do plan to pull over Sophia, I plan to pull over a Gust, and I plan to pull over Homa. I do not look at pulling Hasna. Hasna does not look my style. She's not bad in terms of, but she's just doesn't really fit anywhere in the teams I'm building. She's kind of her own DPS. There's probably some, and I'll try and find some supports that work with her, because you can probably build around her kit to maximize her DPS. But everything that I'm kind of going towards, she doesn't fit into, and so I don't think she would get much use on my account. So I actually do not plan to pulver her unless I'm super lucky and get like the rest of these units in like 1 or 2 10 pulls, and I just have so many pulls saved up that I can make a couple attempts. But we'll just kind of see how it works there. But yeah, that's just kind of the way things are going. I mean, everything has been great, and everybody that has subscribed, thank you for subscribing. And if anyone likes this content, if you could please subscribe, it definitely has helped a lot. But yeah, just kind of my plans for the future. I mean, if anyone has any questions or has any thoughts on content that I can do, just let me know. I will respond to your comments. So thanks for watching.